I guess I really don't know what Christmas is all about. Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about?
I can tell you what Christmas is all about.
Chestnuts roasting, Jack Frost nipping at your nose. So I'm offering a simple phrase. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you.
Hey guys, hopefully I'm in frame and audible. I'm being a little quiet because I'm outside. It's really, really early, but it's snowing, as you can probably see. It is 3:30ish in the morning on Christmas Eve, and I looked out the window. I was up late playing Fallout 4 for whatever fucking reason, and I was just like, huh, the street looks really weirdly white, and it was. Oh man, I've kind of been waiting for this this whole winter. I actually really love the cold. It kind of makes me feel like invigorated. I love being able to see my breath in particular. I've never been able to figure out why. It's just something I love. So it's like any day I can do that is a good day. I'm not sure if you can even see me. It's kind of dark here at the moment. I'm gonna move over here to the light. A lot better lit now, and actually I can backlight myself. Oh, look at this. Fucking, there's a lot of it coming down, and the flakes are getting bigger too. But yeah, anyway, I fucking love the snow. It makes me super happy, and it's also like, if it's gonna be this cold, better be goddamn snow on the ground. Oh goddamn, that's gorgeous. I got a couple shots a second ago of the snow kind of like hanging out over near a light. I keep trying to film it from below, but it doesn't quite get the same effect of like how slowly it's drifting down. It's really beautiful. But yeah, anyway, I'm super happy. First snow of the year on Christmas Eve, early morning. It's just kind of fitting and nice. But anyway, I might get a little bit more footage here outside. But I'm gonna do a short little vlog today, I think, because I meant to do more during the month, as I said in my last update, but this month's been a bit crazy. What with had some family members in the hospital and other just badness that has been taking up a lot of time. Anyway, I'm gonna look at the snow a little bit more before I get too cold, and then I'm gonna go back inside and I'll record something else for you once I've actually gone to sleep and woken back up again. So, yay, snow.
Chestnut roasting, Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
One thing I love about the fucking snow, no matter where you are, no matter what it's doing, I'll show you here in a second, it always makes everything just look clean and nice, no matter what it is. So like here, this right here is a abandoned Taco Bell parking lot. I've been walking for a little while. At this point, I made it up this hill though. This was like the first Taco Bell in our area a long time ago, and you know, the company kind of like not rebranded, but like changed up its look a little while ago, maybe a year or so ago. And rather than remodel this place, they just let go of the building and built another one not too far away. So it just kind of sits empty. Those lights are basically always on, and when they put up those coverings, we thought they were going to be building something inside it, but it never really happened. But yeah, it just sits here, and it's empty basically all the time, unless somebody's using up the parking lot to, you know, park in for whatever reason. But even something like that, like just this waste of space parking lot, it just looks nice and clean and pristine when the snow has fallen. And this is just like the first, I don't know, I don't even think it's been snowing for much more than half an hour at most. With the way it's coming down and how thick it's coming down at the moment, I think it's gonna build up pretty well. Obviously I already showed you the roads covered pretty well, and the parking lots, and even the sidewalk where, you know, it's a bit colder. The grass is finally starting to kind of white over too, because it's actually been like kind of up until yesterday, it's been kind of unseasonably warm. Off and on, it'd be like frigid one day and then like 60 the next. It was just weird weather. So the ground's actually been pretty warm. So I was a little afraid that if it did snow, they've been talking about light flurries and stuff like that. I was a little afraid that if it did snow, it wouldn't even stick. But it looks like my fears were for naught. Because yeah, it's like right over here, just a bit of grass next to the sidewalk. And I don't know how well you can see it. Actually, I'll move over close to one of these street lights, but you can see it pretty well. It's finally starting to kind of frost over and even accumulate in some spots. The trees are starting to stick. Getting a little bit of white up in there. But yeah, it's fucking gorgeous. I'm just really fucking happy that it fell. So anyway, I've been out here for a while now. I'm getting cold, and I've got a little bit of a walk to get home. So I'm gonna go ahead and head home and warm the fuck up. And like I said earlier, I'll be back with you guys a little later today after I've actually slept. So see you in a bit.
That's what Christmas is all about.
Alright, so now it is Christmas Eve proper. It's about, I don't know, 2-ish? 2:30? Something along those lines? No, it's just about 2 in the afternoon. No, I did not sleep that long. But I am finally kind of like up and moving about, and I've got some stuff I gotta take care of. Specifically, I have to cook. I am on the hook this year for potatoes, both candied yam variety and mashed variety. And I'm going to do the mashed ones at Christmas tomorrow, which is going to be in a different location. So I'm going to prep all that stuff later today. But the yams I can cook like 90% of before we even get over there. So I'm going to go ahead and just get it out of the way. So you get to watch me do a little bit of cooking. Which I guess I'll put up what I'm doing as I do it in case you want to replicate. But yeah, so we're making candied yams with this stuff. And it's not as though yams are, or potatoes in general, are the most healthy vegetable to start with. What's up, Cooking Center? But we're just going to ruin these with sugar and butter and all sorts of stuff. But it's fucking delicious. So this is the way that my mom makes them. And it is at her request that I am making them. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Alrighty, so I was going to show you what they look like when they're done, but mine ended up going a little long. So if it wasn't clear by my directions, this is not exactly like a measured recipe sort of thing. A lot of it's by feel. So, you know, I ended up adding like an extra couple, I think it was extra 2 teaspoons of butter to the sauce. I ended up adding an extra maybe half a cup of liquid just to make sure that there was enough, because it didn't look like it was going to cover. As it turns out, I actually probably over-prepared the liquid. I had a decent amount that didn't even get used up, but it's okay. Sometimes that happens. But basically, you want to keep them in the oven on about 350 until the liquid starts to bubble, and once it's started to bubble / boil off some of the excess, you can kill the heat and just let them chill in the oven until you're ready to like consume them, sort of thing. Like I said, I'm making these early, so they're gonna sit in the oven overnight, and that that juice is gonna kind of cool off and congeal into a bit closer to a syrup, which is really nice. And then when you're ready to eat them, you bring them back up to temperature, back up to around 350, or depending on how your oven works, just click on the broiler, put them, you know, a shelf down from the top or something like that. Like, obviously you don't want them touching, but close to the broiler, up at the top of the oven, and then you just cover over with your marshmallows and you're good to go. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to do a quick little video because the snow kind of like really brightened my mood last night, and I was like super happy. I can't even begin to tell you like how excited I was that I was still awake when it started to snow. It was like just really nice and unexpected, and it just like upped my mood like 10 times over. So you know, it got me thinking about a few things, and I just kind of wanted to do, I don't do this like all that often. I definitely don't do this on Thanksgiving when a lot of other people did, but I figured I'd go through a couple of things, maybe, you know, the top 5 things sort of thing that I'm really like happy about / thankful for this year, because, you know, this year's kind of been a bit of a stinker. Not as bad as 2016 was, in my opinion, but not the best year, and it's really easy to get down on that sort of thing. So I thought I'd just talk about some stuff that's been making me happy lately, and it'd be a nice thing to end the year on. Also, I'm on my couch because that corner is where I record vlogs, and I can't fit over there right now because magic cards. These aren't really ranked in like order of like the things that are making me the most happy sort of thing, because like, I guess if I'm being brutally honest about that, number one all the way basically always boils down to my fiance. So that's cheating. So these are 5 things in the last year that are making me happy and that I'm thankful for. And to start it off, I guess the big one that's kind of sticking out in my head right now is just that I'm kind of happy about like my family in general this year, which is not something I tend to think about that much. It's easy to like get into a mindset where you can just take that shit for granted. And these last couple of months have been a little bit tough family-wise. We had a kind of a big disagreement with my sister, and that was really unpleasant, and thankfully we worked it out, and there were some miscommunications on both sides, and just a lot of people not talking, and so like small problems tend to get worse when that happens. But we were able to, like for a little bit, it was looking like we weren't going to actually have our holidays together, and it was kind of bumming me out. I was trying to be as positive about the situation as possible, because like my mom was really upset about it, but it was bugging me. And so I'm really glad that that's worked itself out. And then on another note, like my mom got sick less than a week ago, and she was in the hospital for about 4 days, and so it was also really worrying and upsetting thinking that she'd end up stuck in the hospital by herself for Christmas. But that thankfully passed, and they let her out 2 days ago, and she's doing a lot better, and so everybody gets to be together. And you know, I guess having it almost not happen has kind of reaffirmed how much I'm really glad that, you know, I have the kind of family where most of us, there are some parts of it that I don't get along with, but most of us can all get together and just enjoy each other's company, and that's awesome. So that's one thing. Number 4, I'm going to say, is mashed potatoes. I don't think I need to explain any more than that. I will, but I don't have to. You know what I'm talking about. I didn't get assigned to cook mashed potatoes. I chose to. It's literally, it might be my favorite food. The only thing that might compete with mashed potatoes is pizza. And I feel like that's cheating because you can have like a million different types of pizza and you can have like a million different types of sushi and things like, but like one singular food that is basically always the same. Like you can prepare them a little bit different. You can add flavors and stuff like that, but the core of the food is always the same. Fucking mashed potatoes. Number 3 is that I made a new friend this year in a weird way. Well, maybe it's not weird. I suppose it's probably more common now than it ever was before. But I made a friend via Twitter this year. And she's like really fun and awesome. We've got a lot in common. She's one of the first people in a long time that like gets me on a photography level, which I haven't had like a photography buddy since I was in high school. So that like really jazzed me and like, but yeah, just someone I met in happenstance on Twitter, you know, complaining about a band who wasn't going to be anywhere near either of us. And we were just like, wow, sure is great when no one ever comes near where you are. You know, we commiserate a little bit and we just started chatting and it's been really awesome. And like, I have a fairly tight social circle. You know, like I've got a few really good friends and I don't need a whole lot more than that. So making new friends is not something that I do on a regular basis. And it was just surprising. Like, you know, obviously your chance of meeting any individual person on the internet is simultaneously like more and less likely because, you know, you could meet someone who's nowhere near you, like you couldn't in person, but that means you could also meet all the people who are nowhere near you. So the chance of finding one individual person, I feel like ends up going down in the long run. And so, I don't know, it was just really nice that I got, also just really nice that I got something purely positive out of Twitter when so many times this year I was like this fucking close to just saying fuck you Twitter and letting it go because it was making me so unhappy. So really, really, really grateful that I made a new friend this year. So number 2, we're gonna say, since it is a cop-out just to say my fiance specifically, we're gonna say my home life. Just really, really grateful for the situation I have found myself in. It's kind of shown its colors this year, and I really appreciate it. I live with my fiance. I live with our roommate, who is a good friend of ours. Probably the best mutual friend that we both share. And we all click really well together. We kind of help cover the weaknesses of the others. It's just a really, really nice situation. And they're both very, very supportive ladies and super sweet and caring. And I love being with both of them. And that's really kind of shown this last year where like I've started trying to devote more time to the YouTube space, and I've had horrible luck finding employment, but through their help I've actually got a couple of leads, you know, for the beginning of the next year as far as a way to make some money but also not totally kill my focus on the YouTube thing, which is what I want to be doing. So yeah, I'm just really, really thankful that they're around and that they care about me and they let me care about them, and it's super great. So thanks for them. Number 1, I'm going to say is a tie between 2 things. So I call it 1.5 and 1 or 1A and 1B or whatever. And like I said, none of these are in like sequential order. They're falling all over the place, just kind of spitting this out as I just kind of spitting this out as it comes to me. But number 1 is going to be a tie between the YouTube channel and how it's been going, and just music in general. Music has actually kind of been helping me a lot this year. I found some bands and artists that help me focus. I found some bands and artists that help me unwind, some that give me energy and things like that. And it's had more of a noticeable impact on me this year than in previous years. So I'm just really been enjoying it, and thus I'm really happy about it and thankful for it. And then the channel is kind of self-explanatory. I'm glad that it seems to be working. You know, maybe it's too early to you know, call that race sort of thing, but we've crested 100 people this year. You know, when I do post stuff, mea culpa. I haven't been doing it very often, and that's definitely on me. But when I do get stuff out there, you guys seem, you know, happy for it, and I've got 4 or 5 people now who are real faithful and watch almost everything I put out there and comment and interact with me, and it's been fucking great. So thanks for that too. So yeah, there's 5, technically 6 things that have just made me happy this year that I wanted to acknowledge just because it's nice, and it just seemed like a really nice way to round out the year. So yeah, that's probably gonna do it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. This is kind of a bit of a weird one, but you know, what do I make that isn't weird? You can expect some more content coming after the holidays are over. Probably before the first of the year, but definitely once the first of the year hits. I've had a request from a buddy to play through Portal 2 because he's never seen it. And it's a fun game, and I would actually like to go back and do it again because it's been long enough I don't remember all the puzzles. I'm going to be getting into Assassin's Creed Origins. Like I've said about 7 times, I want to go back to Yooka-Laylee. And I now have edited all the way through 2 episodes of Crash Bandicoot 1. I just didn't post them yet because they didn't feel, I don't know, holiday appropriate because they're kind of frustration based, and I didn't really want to put that up right now because there's enough, you know, anger and negativity and shit like that out there, and I'm not trying to like shit on other people who do that sort of stuff. I'm just saying it just didn't feel right for me, so I didn't do it. But you can expect to see those soon too, and who knows, I'll host other stuff. It is the holidays, maybe I'll get a new game that'll make it into that list as well. But yeah, I hope you liked what you saw. I super appreciate you guys being with me this year. It's been awesome and genuinely impactful, and it has kind of reaffirmed that this is what I want to be doing. So I'm going to keep working at it. Thanks for coming, guys. I hope you have wonderful holidays, whether it be Christmas or Hanukkah or Chanukah, as Lewis Black says, or a lovely Yule or Kwanzaa or what have you. Whatever the hell you celebrate, or nothing at all if you're just with friends and family, or even if you're by yourself, but that's how you want it to be. I hope that it goes the way you want it to. Have a nice, smooth transition and lovely time into the new year, and I'll see you real soon.